So this is another update of all the anxiety and everything I'm going through. I still have yet to make a special video for Patreon, for my Patreon supporters. I'm going to try to remember to leave a link below the video if you can please. If you can't support me on Patreon, or if you can give me a donation, I'm seriously considering setting up a GoFundMe. I probably don't have to right now, but I may have to soon. But even if I wanted to set it up now, I have so much going on. I may lose my home, which is not my home. It's actually my dad's home. But I pay rent to him, but he may lose it. And if he loses it, well, then I'm on the street. You know, I've said it in another video, things are happening. It's not just these taxes going up on this house that are going to eat me up alive later on. And my dad also doesn't want to pay the taxes anymore. He said it's my responsibility, which is fine. But in that regard, I'll probably lose a lot of my benefits. But one of the worst things is I can't talk about it. I want to tell you, but it's a legal matter, and that legal matter is so serious that we may lose this house. Or my dad, whatever. I cannot believe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This is how many days? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 days. I can't hardly eat at all. I take medicine that upsets my stomach, so I have to force myself to eat just to take my meds. Other than that, I don't eat. I mean, on a positive note, I guess I'll lose some weight. I just, right now, someone could give me $1 billion right now and it wouldn't faze me. $1 billion. It wouldn't faze me. Maybe eventually it would faze me and I would say, well, you know, I don't know, maybe it would help. I will say one thing. Money is awesome. But when you're sick and when you're having anxiety that does not go away. My friend offered me some Xanax the other day. And I told her, I can't take it. My primary doctor offered me some medicine to calm me down. I told her I can't take it because I'm under pain contract. And the pain contract doctor says if you're with us, you sign a contract to get pain pills. And benzodiazepines like Ativan, Xanax, Klonopin, Clozapam, Ativan, they're all a case of drugs that help with anxiety. I'm having horrid anxiety. Horrid. I would have to break contract with him. So I'm trying to get off my pain meds. That in and of itself is having major withdrawal symptoms. I've been on pain pills for at least 12 years. Actually longer than that. It's more like, because I was on the 16 years. 16 years. 16 years. Yeah, 16 years. And then I told you in my last video the doctor put me on Haldol, which I'm not taking that shit. even if it may help my anxiety, that shit's for schizophrenia. It's an old dangerous drug they don't even hardly use anymore. I'm supposed to get my ketamine treatment that I told you about, where they put it up the nose for my depression. I finally got a ride through my insurance because I can't drive home. I need to prove to them, so I need to have and I have no friends around here that's willing to do that twice a week because everybody works, which is understandable. And so I finally got a ride, but the thing is, my blood pressure has been high for probably a good 2 years. Like every time I go to my doctor, it's like, so your blood pressure is elevated. I just went to the eye doctor, and she said, "Sir, do you have a high blood pressure?" I was like, "Why?" This is after the exam, and you know how you have an X-ray machine, and you can see they'll show you. Well, this looked like that with the thing, and they put it up against it, lights it up, the plastic sheet or whatever, but it's in color. She's showing that my eyes have been bleeding. She said that is due to high blood pressure. So the ketamine treatment, my primary doctor never put me on blood pressure medicine. She said because once you're on it, you'll hardly ever get off of it. My boyfriend, he said the same thing. Well, the ketamine treatment, it has to be under 130. My blood pressure is always 135, 150. I've actually went to the hospital one time because my blood pressure was so high that I was having issues. My boyfriend took me to, it was an emergency room. And I just felt like everything was getting dark. Kind of like I was shutting down. Like, like when you charge, like a robot dog, for example, and it just starts going slow, it starts shutting down. Like I was slow in movement, but like my vision, everything just started getting dark. Like I was just like shutting down. And when we got to the emergency room, like my blood pressure was like off the charts. He had asked the nurse. They had to redo. They thought the machine was busted. They had to put me under the machine and redo it. And he didn't say nothing because he didn't want to scare me. Why they didn't give me medicine, I don't know. They just watched me. And it finally came down enough to where he told us the truth. He was like, your blood pressure was something that didn't make any sense. In other words, like, no one has blood pressure that high. And I'm like, why didn't you give me something? That didn't make any sense. My boyfriend's in the medical field. He thought that was bullshit. He was like, the whole time we're in the room, he's like, they need to give you something. So, make a long story short, my primary doctor finally sent over, and I'm about ready to go if I can. I don't know if I can, so I might ask them to deliver my medicine, what would probably be for the best. Blood pressure medicine, because not only do I have high blood pressure, the ketamine treatment that is supposed to be started next week on Thursday. We can't get it on Monday. It's too late. After Thursday, I'll go Mondays and Thursdays, or Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't know. My mind is so, it's like, I locked my keys again. I just told you I locked my keys. I just did that again, just recently. I had a spare to get into the house. Yeah. I'm forgetting things. I'm under so much stress. Hopefully that blood pressure medicine will get it down. Hopefully these ketamine treatments will give me some happiness. They're not long term. They just make you feel good for a few days. That's why I have to keep getting them. But just to get me over this hurdle. They're not going to do shit for my anxiety. And on top of that, my boyfriend's still gone. He doesn't know when he gets back. And he wants to be a traveling therapist. He doesn't want to stay here with me. So, look what I've lost. I lost my first home. Okay? Because I got sick. Then I moved back home. My dad sold the family home that I moved back into and moved me, him, and Mom to another home. So now I'm losing 2 homes. Because that home would have been mine. My sister has her own. I wish she would have rented that house out. Or just give it to me and let me live in it. And then when we moved to that new home, me and my mom both flipped the fuck out. I got put back in the mental hospital. My mother got put in the hospital. She flipped out bad. And then I worked my ass off for Habitat for Humanity. Dusted myself off to try my own place again. And then while we were waiting on that, my dad got tired of waiting and he said, you either move into this house, the one I live in, or go find an apartment. Because he bought this house like cheap, like HUD repo, like $60,000 or something like that. I was like, why don't you just let me stay with you and mom? I mean, I thought that's why y'all bought this big house for all of us. He's like, nope. So my dad was a drill sergeant. He calls the shots. And as soon as I moved in here, panic attacks again. I've been living here for 9 years. I would say the first, out of the 9 years, I can honestly say the past 5. Out of 9 years, let's see here, in the past 5 years, I've kind of got used to it. But before that, it was years living in anxiety. And my stomach, you have no idea, like it is twisting and turning. Like I wake up sweating. I don't sleep. I wake up just sweating in pure panic. What's going on? For, like I said, today's Saturday. It started last Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 9 days. I'm taking tons of fiber because if I don't, when I poop, it's just water. And it just looks like a snake skin because my colon is spasming. And it knots. And the lining is just shedding. I know because I've been told this by doctors before when this acts up. All I want right now is for some, I know it's going to sound whatever, but I don't care. I don't care. All I can do is tell people the truth. I just want God, or big, big, husky, masculine man, fully dressed, with big hands, big arms. Just wrap his arms around me, put one of his hands here, the other one in my back, like right behind each other, and let me cry, and cry, and cry, and cry. Literally pull out the pain, the insecurity, all the abuse I've had. Emotional and verbal abuse from my family. And then fall asleep and never wake back up. That's what I truly want. I would take that over $1 billion any day. But I'm not suicidal. I'm not commit suicide. So, because, you know, what if there is a hell? If I die in my sleep, that's not my fault, right? And even if I lied and said I was suicidal, which I'm not suicidal, what is the mental hospital going to do for me? Well, they would probably put me on some anti-anxiety medicine. That would help me. But there's so much shit I gotta do, you know, that maybe this blood pressure medicine might make me feel sleepy. Ambien is a good medicine that helped me tremendously to sleep. Can't get down with that either. My pain doctor sees it as a benzo, even though it's not. I've always felt I'm cursed. Always. Since I was a kid, from what I've been told. I wish someone could, you know what would really be great? If someone could sit down with me and I could remember all the stories and go back. Because, you just go back, oh yeah, I also forgot this happened, and continue to, to get it all written in chronological order. And the truth, me not over exaggerating or anything, and write a fucking autobiography. The horrible things, the weird things, the strange things. It's not a coincidence I'm living in a house and right across the street is that Habitat house that I lost. That's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that my first house that I lost was right next to a homeless shelter. I've always been worried about being homeless. These are not coincidences. I think the law of attraction is working, but sadly, the curse that I'm under, because I don't think the law of attraction is it's neither sided, good or bad. It's just like energy. It's like a knife. A knife doesn't care if you, cut a branch down or cut someone. You know what I'm saying? It's a tool, and I think the law of attraction is just, well, it is. But you mix that with, which I truly believe I've been cursed. I even saw a therapist one time, and she said to me, I think there is a curse on your life. I've said it a million times. People want to be happy. Oh, I want to be happy. I don't want to be happy. I just want my anxiety to go away. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have OCD. I have anxiety. I have depression. I don't want to be happy. If you want to make me happy, that's fine. I don't mind keeping my depression. I don't mind keeping my OCD. It's the anxiety that has made me lose 3 homes. It's my anxiety. I tried to join the Air Force. Couldn't do it. Tried to be a prison guard. That's a whole other story. Couldn't do it. Tried to go to college. Couldn't do it. Barely could go to school. When I worked for the phone company, they were going to send us to the Mall of America in Minnesota. Like, right across the street was the training. Couldn't do it. I had to train here in this hick town. And when the girls came back from there, like, oh, you should have went. I've had come home early on flights, $500 emergency flight, because even though I had a round trip ticket at the place I was at, my anxiety kicked in. Like, my anxiety is like a bully that rules my life. So yeah, getting rid of that and still having depression, I would be so grateful for. Because if I'm happy, but having anxiety and worry, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not asking for a lot. I'm just asking for my fucking anxiety to go away. And it's... And I'm gonna do another video on the law of attraction where it worked. I guess you could say in my favor. I truly believe that. When I tell you the stories of all that happened with the law of attraction, you're gonna be like, whoa, those were not coincidences. And I'm gonna try to see if the doctor next week will allow me to record my session with the ketamine. Maybe you'll see me start to smile and just, I don't know, but wouldn't that be cool for me to record that going up my nose and seeing before and after? I don't see they would say no. I don't think I'm going to ask. I'm just going to do it. And then to say I didn't know. What's the worst thing you can do? To say, well, you didn't know, then turn it off. All right? So stay tuned for that. What should I name this video? That's another thing. If you stay this far, what should I name this video? I'm the most insecure, unstable person. I find security and stability in money and a home that I know I'm not getting kicked out of, a home that when my anxiety in the outside world gets bad, I can hurry up and rush home. I've been living in this home for 9 years, and it's very possible I'm going to lose it. Because of the legality issue that we're going through, and if that gets squared away, I don't know how I'm going to afford these taxes on a $1,000 disability check. And no one can say, well, you should have lived within your means. I've always lived below my means. Why do you think I worked for Habitat for Humanity? Because I wanted something cheap and small. I've always said I'd rather have a tiny house, something so cheap and small that I can take care of. I don't like big houses. Someone could give me $1 billion tomorrow, and I would not live in a big house. I'd probably live in a tiny house. It wouldn't be like super, super tiny, but it would be a very, very, very small little house. It'd have a swimming pool. It would have a courtyard instead of a backyard, and a swimming pool. But just, very small. I would want a house that's like square like this. Here's the entry like that. You go into the entry, and then the rooms are on the perimeter, and then inside the courtyard is a swimming pool. So like you would have the kitchen here, the dining room here, a bedroom, bedrooms. And then that way, anytime you're in the bedroom, like you're in the bedroom, you go in the pool. You walk out, go. You're in the kitchen, you go in the pool. And I would have big glass doors that open so you can but that's, because I saw it was on a video in Bali. But small. Like I wouldn't want it as huge. No, small. Mm-mm. And I say pool, but because in our old childhood home we had a pool, and it helped my back. And just floating, like it relieves a lot of stress, PTSD. I have a lot of PTSD. Oh boy, do I have a lot of PTSD. From the rape, from the molestation, how I was treated in school. And there's other things, there's other things that's happened to me that I have not even told anyone yet. I haven't told a doctor, a therapist, my boyfriend. I got some deep, and I mean deep shit. Some horrible shit that's been done to me that I've never told anyone. And I probably never will. Because when I think about it, there's a lot of blackouts. And I'm afraid that if I talk about it, I'm going to find out all this stuff that not only did I know what happened to me, but I blocked a lot of that out. And I don't want to face my therapist said on my molestation alone, I blocked stuff out. She said maybe it's better that we don't go too deep. She didn't even know about this other thing. I'm going to show you something real quick. I've had this in the house, I want to say, I got for at least 9 days. I've been wanting to review it. I've probably maybe swallow it. Like, maybe it's possible, but like, I just cannot. I have no appetite. It's hard to eat when your stomach is twisting and turning, you know? I'm not asking for any money, but please write some comments. Please give me some moral support. If you want to donate, that's fine. I guess I can leave something to donate. My windshield in my car is still cracked. I was supposed to get fixed that a long time ago. I'm getting 14 miles to the gallon. 14. Because I never got a, with the spark plug thing, tune up. I have a tree in the backyard that's falling over. It might hit the roof. I wear the same clothes. Like, I'm the most conservative person. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve any of this. I never deserved none of this and all the shit I've been through in the past. And these people that say, oh, anxiety, yeah, I have anxiety. And then when I tell them, what is your anxiety? Oh, and then they use the word stress. Well, I'm really stressed out because blah, 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 blah. I'm like, that's not anxiety. Being stressed out from work is not anxiety. You don't know what anxiety is. You have no idea. You better be glad you think that's what it is. You better be glad. Because the stress you're going through is nothing compared to anxiety with panic attacks. Waking up sweating, can't sleep, pacing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for like an hour or an hour and a half. Don't even know you're doing it. Hunched over only to go back into the bathroom and poop really nothing because you haven't been eating. And you're in sweating, just sweat. Scared, terrified shitless of what will happen and what might happen. And knowing that you need to do something about it, but a lot of the things you can't. For 9 days it's been like this. And I'm not getting the treatment because my pain doctor will not allow me to take the medicine that will help me. That my primary doctor... Let me tell you, when I was seeing my pain doctor, I was on like 5 Ativan a day. Then they would switch it to like 5 or 6 Xanax a day. Like, I was on high benzos. And it kept me at bay. And he had no problem giving me my hydrocodone. This went on for years. No problem. Never took extra. Only actually took the benzos like Ativan, Xanax, the anti-anxiety medicine when I really needed it. They would give me a month's supply. And instead of getting a refill, I'd wait 6 months and say, can I get a refill? And the doctor's like, that one bottle lasts you 6 months, was only supposed to last you 30 days. I'm like, because I'm a conservative person. I'm a conservative person. What's 2 or 3 fucking Ativan or 3 or 4 or 5 Xanax gonna do just for a couple of weeks to calm me down, to let me get through this, and then take me off of it? I'm not a drug seeker. It's not like I want to be on this forever. Like I said, my friend offered me a Xanax the other day. I was like, I can't take it. She goes, it would calm you down so much. I'm like, yeah, I know it would. It'd give me a fucking break. But my pain doctor's going to find out, and then I'm going to fucking get in trouble. Then he's going to break up the contract. And then when my degenerative disc in my neck gets worse, once you're blacklisted like that, no pain doctor will take you. You'd have to move to another state. They're getting so strict with the war on drugs, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Because yes, if you take a handful of hydrocodone and a handful of benzos, you probably would die. Well, hell, I could take a handful of any of the fucking pills the doctor gives me and I would die. But taking a couple of hydrocodone and a couple of benzodiazepines such as Ativan, Valium, Klonopin, clozapam, Xanax, then it's not dangerous. I was doing it for over 10 years at least. My friend has cancer. They're doing the same thing to him. He's in excruciating pain, and he's on Oxycontin. He has horrible anxiety. Pain doctor said, you can take those pills if you want to, but then I won't be able to give you these pain pills, so pick one. But he told me he can get a hold, away. I'm not going to get into it, but he can get a hold of some Xanax. And I told him, I was like, don't piss test high, because as soon as that pain doctor finds out, he's going to terminate your contract, and then he's going to blacklist you. And telling myself I deserve to be happy, like, I fucking hate these people. Oh, listen to peaceful music, be positive, all this stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I am 48 years old. You don't think I've been trying that shit? Huh? I can't wait till I get 1,000 subscribers. Y'all do me a favor. Share do whatever you can. I need, because when I get 1,000 subscribers, I can go live. I can actually interact with you. Wouldn't that be so awesome? Wouldn't that be? I gotta go lay back down. My stomach is cramping. I think I gotta poop again.